Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? It is me, Lasty here, and welcome today to a brand new episode of the FIFA 23 Ultimate Team Road to Glory, episode number 43 today. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to a fun episode today, a very different kind of episode, because I will be doing today something that I have not done on FIFA 23 yet, and that is heading on into a little bit of foot draft. So if you do enjoy, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. I'd absolutely love to see 3,000 or 4,000 likes. That'd be amazing. And subscribe to the channel as well if you're new. So my current team has 3 or 4, maybe even 5 tradable players in it. Payet, Renato Sanchez, Walker, Theo Hernandez, and I think that Varane is also tradable, even though he's first owner. So, yeah, a good sort of 300,000 plus coins in those players right there. If we did want to sell them, I actually have no real use for them today, and I think maybe by the end of the episode, they'll all at least be listed, maybe some of them sold. So, yeah, don't get too attached to those guys. So this is what we can spend our FIFA points on. It's the foot draft game mode. It's not something that I ever really dabble too much in. For some reason, it stresses me out more than most game modes. I don't quite know why. And yeah, anyway, getting on into it, I decided to move away from the 4-2-2, which is like my bread and butter. Probably should have just gone with it. But I think foot draft, I went with 4-3-3, number 4-2, number 2, the defensive one, with 2 centre mids. And yeah, the problem with foot draft is that when I choose Eusebio right here instead of Vola, because just Eusebio just is better, the problem is that I can't get him on full chem. I wonder if EA need to give everyone that plays this game mode the ability to use some of their position modifier cards that they own in their club, or give everyone 5 position modifier cards per draft to make adjustments to your team. Because yeah, it definitely hasn't been thought about properly, I don't think. You really do have to think about what formation you've got and whether that player is actually going to work for you or not. I don't know. A lot of the time, they just won't. So yeah, I think that's a little bit of a problem. And I've sort of sped up parts of it, speed building type thing of this draft, because I don't make the greatest decisions a lot of the time, and also a lot of my team, it basically looked like they skipped leg day. We were like really like well built up top, and then just skinny chicken legs down below. So yeah, lots of non-rare golds and rubbish cards that aren't really going to do much for me. But as we get to the reserves and the bench, we can get ourselves a Franck Ribéry, nice card. Way too expensive for me to buy on the RTG, so it'd be nice to give him a try. For some reason, I choose Firmino over Ricken here, but I'm not even mad about my decision, because I think he probably is better. And then, yeah, like Dybala, obvious choice. But I don't think many people build many full chemistry drafts. If they do, they've got lucky, or they've turned down some other better options, literally just to build with chemistry. But my thoughts were, to be fair, I can just play. Ginola's quite a nice one. I can just play with Eusebio up top, and he'll just play with his base stats. And that's very good, of course, because it is Eusebio, and he does have some very good stats, no doubt about it. So yeah, that was sort of my thought process. But I was also happy to give Harry Kewell and Joe Cole a start rather than just putting Ginola and Ribéry in there, because you know what, maybe they help with the other Prem players and stuff, and we need some sort of chemistry in this team, don't we? So I got overall in the end a 113 squad rating. I'm guessing that is particularly average for a foot draft, but like I said, I haven't really played much of it. I've definitely not watched any of it this year, so wasn't really sure as to what was in store for me, apart from I probably thought, yeah, it's going to be a little bit sweaty. So the first game obviously does sweat against me, and he absolutely was a good player. So I'm 2-0 down at half-time. That's not great. Obviously, got a long way to go if we're going to get past the first round in this one. And we do get the next goal. It ends up dropping to me. I had applied quite a bit of pressure. And then we do score the goal with Eusebio. He moves his goalkeeper. But this guy was good. And to be fair to him, he was using Henry and Jarzinho really, really well. I mean, to be fair, I had an awful defence, but still, he was doing a good job. And he was keeping me out most of the time. I was able to get another goal back here in the 64th minute. He was a very big goalkeeper movement kind of player. And then as you can see there, he just sort of takes the game right at the end. And any efforts that I had put in to sweat my way back into this one were just sort of, yeah, destroyed when he gets his 4th and 5th goal with Super Sub Lozano. So out of the draft in the very first round. Oh, God. At this point, I was like, should I bother doing another one? Am I going to enjoy it? Am I just going to go out first round every single time? But we will do another one. Let's first open up the little packs that we get. A silver players pack and 2 gold not even gold players packs. Gold packs. About as bad as it can get. I was hoping that, you know, since in my very first draft, I went out first round, that maybe EA were just going to, like, nice me with a free draft token to just get back into the next draft, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. So, yeah, I mean, there's nothing to write home about with any of these packs. We'll take the anchor chemistry style, and actually I'll keep the manager contract, because I definitely need a couple of those. But yeah, other than that, we're just basically topping up our coin balance with very, very minimal amounts of pennies more than anything. And it's just, yeah, there's nothing really good happening here. We can make 1,000 coins from a position modifier, of course, but everything else is yeah, just not really doing it for me. So we will head on into another draft. Excuse me. I'll start another one up. And a new formation to the game this year is a 5-back, but I didn't like the look of any of the 4 or 3 backs there, and I didn't want to go 5-2-2-1. I go with this 5-1-2-2, which is a new formation to FIFA 23. I guess it's kind of similar to the 5-3-2, but instead of 3 centre mids, you have 1 DM instead of 3 CMs. Yeah, that might be the only difference between a 5-3-2 from previous FIFAs. But we start off really well. We get Mbappe and we get Smolarek, however you pronounce his name. And again, I'll skip through a few of these here. Rudiger, ones to watch, was a player that we chose. We could have had Lucio, but it wouldn't have helped my like Valverde chemistry and stuff. So I was doing my best to try and go down sort of like the French league and the Bundesliga. But then also a couple of Real Madrid players were in there as well. So I knew the chemistry wasn't going to be insane. So I stopped caring so much about it. You know, I could have chose Mukiele there and that would have really helped out like Mbappe and stuff. But in all honesty, let's just take the slightly better player in whoever it was we chose. I can't remember the guy's name. That isn't that bad. Who's the right wing back? Frimpong. Jeremy Frimpong. That's the one. So we get to the bench and the reserves. End up taking myself a Joe Cole. I don't think I use him once in this entire draft. Neymar's a good one, but Pele's a better one. We absolutely will take ourselves a Pele. But again, in this formation, if he was to start, which he's not going to, I'm just going to bring him off the bench. He would be on just base stats because there's no place for a centre forward. You know, I need to be able to move him to a striker in my draft in order to help with chemistry and stuff. So hopefully they figure that out going along, you know, because it's a whole new chemistry system, but the same draft system. So it doesn't quite work. We need it to be updated and upgraded to match, you know, this new chem system that we have. So into the first game we go. This guy's got a couple of icons up top. I believe it was Brolin and Peter Crouch. And I end up getting a goal with my hero, not icons. I said icons a minute ago, sorry. I scored with my hero, Smolarek, and then Mbappe gets a goal as well. First time getting the chance to properly use Mbappe on this game. And I was bossing it in this one. 60% possession. I feel like my opponents. They're the ones that always have the 60% possession against me. And in the second half, 2-0 is a dangerous scoreline. I mean, I myself as an Ipswich Town fan know that very, very well after the last few games. But yeah, 2-0, he gets the goal back. I do get quite lucky with Jeremy Frimpong being in the right place and the ball just sort of plopping out to him at the right time. He does score a goal there with Brolin, though. Good finish, to be fair, from the Swede. A player that I would quite like to try out at some point. I'm sure I'll be able to afford him. And maybe I'll go with a bit of a hero team at some point just to to test out some cards that I otherwise wouldn't have done. And that is for me, about the only really good thing about draft is that you get to, for these few games, I get to own Mbappe, I get to own Pele, all for the cost of either 15,000 coins or 300 FIFA points, seems as that's what we can actually spend our FIFA points on. So we go through that round into the next game, and this guy lets me get a goal with Renato Sanchez. He brought his goalkeeper out. He didn't let me get it, but it was a tidy finish from myself, from the corner. And then he equalises. So at half-time, very even. He's had loads of possession. That's one thing I would say about the draft players, is that apart from that one game where I had 60%, everyone really holds possession. And no matter how aggressive I set my team up to be with custom tactics, can't get them to press anywhere near what I would like them to. So I don't know, is that like a known issue or anything? I couldn't get my players to press. At points, I was on constant pressure, and I couldn't get it to work. So we've now gone through 2 rounds, and we're into the semi-finals against a tidy back line. But then as we go through the attack was pretty meh. Unfortunately for me, he then brought on instantly from the word go, he brought on like Eusebio and others. It was he had a very good team after he made his substitutes. It's a bit like me when I bring on Pele right from the start of the game. But I go 2-0 up. And even my Jota that I'd brought on as a left wing back for this game decided that he was going to score. Moving the goalkeeper in the exact right position doesn't help when you're playing against Eusebio, apparently. And that was just a poorly timed step up from my defenders there. And Eusebio is able to equalise before the end of the first half. So there goes my 2-0 lead. I've blown that one. And I knew it was going to go from bad to worse in this game, because he was just good. He just had way more possession than me, was just a way better FIFA player than me. I can admit it, at the time, it was stressing me out, and it would really annoyed me because I thought I was going to make my way to the final, especially being 2-0 up, but I bottled it. I end up losing 3-2. So we lose in the semis. We get a jumbo premium gold pack and a jumbo gold pack, or premium gold pack, whatever it is. 7.5k and a 15k pack for getting beaten in the semi-finals. Sag. Anyway, in that pack we also get an architect, so that's worth 1,500 coins. But as I'm constantly buying them on this game, I might as well just keep it and use it on my my next player that I need one for. And we do get ourselves a team of the week. It's not a great one or anything. It's just Dean Henderson from Forest, but I can quite happily just discard that and a bunch of the other stuff here and claim myself what I would imagine is about 15,000 coins from this draft. So essentially the sort of money that you would have paid to get into it if you'd have bought it with coins. So yeah, not great, but at least we got an inform out of it. So I probably won't hurry myself back into that game mode, I'll be real. I didn't enjoy it that much. It's nice to try out other players, but for now, because this is the last video I'm making before I go away for a few days, and I know you're watching it on Thursday, I'm going to sell up Walker, Theo Hernandez, and also Payet. So I forget that I have Payet for a little bit here, and I list up Walker and Theo. And then later on, once they've both sold, I realise, oh wait, I do need to sell Payet as well. So I list him up, but I don't think he sells before the end of this episode. So I'll have to come back to that in a couple of days, or I'll log in on my phone and on the companion app and see if I can list up Payet again if he hasn't sold within the first hour. I'll check it in just a little bit. But yeah, selling both of these for a ever so slight profit. I guess we just about break even on Theo Hernandez, making ever so slight profit on Kyle Walker, who's gone up sort of 10k. And we're back up to 727,000 with a Payet, with a Varane, with a Renato Sanchez. So I reckon we could get up to about 850k should we need it, which is about as many coins as we've had on this account. So yeah, you do lose a little bit with tax and stuff, but I'll probably end up buying these players back by the end of the week, but I'm hoping they will have dropped off a little bit or something like that with rivals rewards and whatnot. So yeah, if not, maybe we'll try other players. I'm not too bothered. It's quite nice to test out different cards on this game. And if I hadn't have listed those players up, they would have crashed like crazy, and I'd have sold them for so much less. Now that I've listed them up and sold them, the market is going to boom. So if you have players that are tradable in your club, you're welcome. You're going to make loads of money because I sold mine. I'm cash rich, but I probably could have been richer because no doubt the market is going to screw with me once again. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. Can you do me a favor? Smash the thumbs up button. I'd absolutely love to see 4,000 likes on this, and subscribe to my channel as well if you're new. Cheers. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of those links are down below in the description. Have a wonderful day, ladies and gentlemen. And like I said, you might not get a video at normal time tomorrow, but I will try my best to get one out for you in the evening. I'll see you then. Peace.